Ghana was founded on June 2014 with a per capita income of 1,24,000. And now in 23-24, the per capita income is 3,56,000. One of the highest, or you mentioned to me, it is the highest per capita in the world. That means 193% above the national average. So how did this happen?
Well, like I said, Telangana was formed not by luck or by chance. It took a lot of pluck, a lot of hard work, led by our leader, Mr. KCR.
I have to say, initially I thought it was the largest in India, and then I went to ChatGPT to reconfirm. It is actually the largest in the world. It was amazing to see that.
So, combination of all this, drinking water, power, and, irrigation, industry and IT, of course. So today we dominate, not just in IT exports in India. We are the leading paddy producer in the country. So this kind of turnaround happened because we were driven by a leader, KCR, who drove this with passion, with dedication and absolute commitment, 100% commitment. And that's why today Telangana is the state with the highest per capita income in the country. In 2014, when we started, our per capita income was 1,24,000 rupees. Today, I'm proud to share with you, it's 3,57,000 rupees, which is much, much higher than the rest of the country and the national average. Our chief minister one day, when, in 2014, initial days when this new state was formed, he sat all of us around, including the bureaucrats. So we were having a conversation. One question he asked. He said, why should government be giving any clearance or any permission at all? Why should government give any clearance to an industrialist? Why can't we let them be? So all of our industry secretaries and commissioners were scratching their heads. What is the answer? What do I say to the chief minister who's asking me, challenging me rather, why should the government be in the business of giving approvals at all? They said, sir, but compliance, regulatory needs, if a disaster happens, how do we ensure that there is accountability, etc., etc. Then we found middle ground. We said, let's do this. Let's have an investor or an entrepreneur enter any enterprise, start day one without any clearance. Let them certify themselves that they are going to be in compliance with the law of the land. It's called self-certification. And simultaneously, let them put in a piece of paper or send an application online that I am going to be in compliance with the law of the land. Please give me permission, etc. Now then we created a legislation, an act called TS-I-PASS. Now TS-I-PASS, most of you who travel to the US or even who travel on the highways here, you have the fast tags, you have the easy passes. Similarly, what we created was TS-I-PASS. TS-I-PASS stands for Telangana State Industrial Project Approval Self-Certification System. So, if you don't hear back from the government after starting the construction of your factory on day one, this might sound too good to be true for some of you, but it is a fact. You can start construction on day one without panchayat approval, without municipality approval, without collector approval, without going to the secretary, without meeting the minister. In 15 days after you submit the application, if you don't hear back from the government, by statute, by law, on the 16th day, it's an automatic approval, it's a deemed approval. And one last thing I'll say.
Definitely this deserves a round of applause.
And in case you're thinking, does it really work or is this guy a politician so he's talking fluff? Let me tell you, in the last 10 years, I mean, I have not been a minister for the last 1 year, but in the last 9.5 years when we were in office, I can tell you that we gave more than 24,000 clearances and 99.9% were within 15-day window. And we attracted more than 3.5 lakh crores of investment. We've been able to create more than 2.4 million jobs of direct potential, which is 24 lakhs. And we continue to grow. That's why the GSDP grew. That's why the per capita grew. That's why all the other indicators. The last thing I'll tell you, policy disruption is also about bringing in accountability. It's not just about creating fancy policies. So one of the things we did, if a bureaucrat is held responsible for holding your file, for holding your approval beyond the 15-day window, then we can fine, the government can fine 1,000 rupees per day till such time as that bureaucrat clears it. Telangana has become the first state in India to provide a portable drinking water connection to each and every one of our 10 million homes, which is 1 crore households.
Fantastic. You deserve a round of applause for that.
This is a project called as Mission Bhagirath, which later inspired Government of India to start what is called as Jal Jeevan Mission. Now which they're talking about Har Ghar Jal which is tap water connection to each and every home. Second thing we did, you may not be knowing this, but I urge you all, if you have a phone in your hands, please pull out your phone and please type in Google, if you can, please. World's largest lift irrigation project. World's largest lift irrigation project. For those of you who are trigger happy and who have speed, typing abilities, please tell me what the answer is. One of you? Miss Revati Krishna says Kaleshwaram. Kaleshwaram lift irrigation project is the answer, and that is in the state of Telangana, in our own country, India. But not many of us know this. We built this project in flat 3.5 years, and this is the world's largest lift irrigation project, where we draw water from 80 meters above sea level, and through multiple stages of lifting, we take it all the way to 618 meters above sea level. And this project is a multi-purpose project. It irrigates about 45 lakh acres of land in one cycle, one season, which if you take 2 seasons, it's about 90 lakh acres, which is 9 million acres. It also has 10% of water earmarked for industrial consumption, and it also provides for drinking water needs of a city like Hyderabad. And also en route, we have thousands of villages whose drinking water needs are met with. So these kind of marvelous projects, unfortunately, we didn't market it as well as we should have. No, I'm sure you must have heard of Three Gorges Dam. How many of you have heard of Three Gorges? Quite a few. China. They've marketed it well. Unfortunately, in Telangana and India, we didn't talk about it. And neither did our leaders in Delhi.
How did you convince our Kitex Sabu Jacob to invest in Telangana? Most importantly, I have to add this question to that. Most importantly, what does Kerala need to do so that its entrepreneurs don't move to states like Telangana and the rest of India?
Well, Sabu Jacob's story, I don't know if anybody from Kitex is here, but what happened is, I have this very bad habit of reading newspapers. It's a terrible habit. I read about 13 newspapers every day, and it really takes away about 1.5 hours of my time. So one morning, I was reading Economic Times, and I see this news article which said, Kitex Group wants to move its 3,000 plus crores of business to another location. It didn't say where, when, etc. So I was fascinated. I read through the thing, and he said, he's having problems here. So I just clicked a picture. My habit is, I have lots of WhatsApp groups in my phone for various departments, various party activities, etc. So I clicked a picture, sent it to my secretary, my industry secretary. I said, please find out more, and please get me the details of this gentleman. My secretary is a very sharp guy. So he immediately got me Sabu Jacob's number. So I texted Sabu Jacob saying, Mr. Jacob, I want to talk to you. My name is KTR. I'm the minister from Telangana. I don't get a call back. He didn't call. So I called him myself. He didn't answer. So I said, this is funny. Why is he not answering? So I called my secretary. I said, this guy is avoiding me. Maybe I did something wrong. Why don't you talk to him and make him talk to me? So he caught hold of Mr. Jacob. Then he conferenced me in. Then Mr. Jacob says, I didn't know it was you. I just thought somebody was pranking me. So I just, didn't want to be pranked. What happens then is something interesting. So I saw this news article on a Monday. On Tuesday, we are on a conference call. And this was in the middle of COVID, or just about the time we are getting out of COVID. So I basically, on the phone, I made a pitch. I said, Mr. Jacob, we have a brilliant industrial policy. Why don't you come invest in Telangana, etc. He said, yeah, but, I have to check the flight situation and then I'll come back to you. Then I said, why don't I send you a flight? I said, why don't I send you a flight? He was like, what did you say, come again? I said, I'll send you a flight to Kochi so that you can fly and come and visit me. He said, are you serious? I said, I'm very serious. He said, then let's make plans. I'll come on Thursday. And then he immediately asked me, can I announce this in Cochin? I said, please announce it, but only before you board the flight. If you announce it today, your entire government will come and sit at your doorstep. They won't let you move out. So please announce it when you're actually boarding the flight. So on Thursday, he boarded the flight without any commitment. He just was coming to do window shopping. He came in. So we hosted him. I received him, hosted him. Then I flew him in a chopper to Warangal, which is where India's largest textile park is. Showed him the location. Shared plans with him. Then he flew back in the evening. He meets me and he says, I'm impressed. I'm going to announce 1,000 crores of investment. This is day one.
Wow.
Next morning, Next morning, there is another offsite near Hyderabad airport. So we show him that also. Then he's even more kicked. He says, I want to announce one more 1,000 crores of investment. And 6 months later, after we did the MOU, he liked the way we did business in Telangana. And today, Kitex Group's operations will kickstart in December. In fact, this month, as we speak, the first phase will be launched. And altogether, their investments are now more than 3,000 plus crores in Telangana. So good thing is,
Amazing.
the Economic Times piece which said this investment is moving somewhere, I'm glad it did not go to Sri Lanka, did not go to Bangladesh. It came to another part of India at least. People can walk in with any kind of an idea, and we will help you, take you through the process. A lot of times entrepreneurs, youngsters have great ideas, but they don't know how to give it a shape. So what T-Hub does is exactly that. It gives you an opportunity, it gives you a platform to learn from mentors, to connect with peers, to raise money, to write a business plan, to understand the legal process, to understand everything that it takes to create a business. So we created in 2015, in 2014 I became a minister. By 2015 early we were ready to launch it in about 70,000 square feet. But I wanted one gentleman to inaugurate it. That was Mr. Ratan Tata. So I reached out to him. I said, sir, you have to come inaugurate. He said, I'm a bit sick, I can't make it now. So I waited for almost 4 months to let Mr. Tata inaugurate it. The reason why I say all this is because I believe Mr. Tata today symbolizes the kind of change that is sweeping the country. Now here is this gentleman who's a septuagenarian, who's 70 plus, and every day, typically when you think of Tata, you think of robust trucks, you think of manufacturing, you think of big engines. But here is this guy, day in, day out, investing in startups. So I said, there can't be a better person to inaugurate than, this facility than him. So that's how T-Hub Phase 1 happened, which was India's largest. 2 years later, we inaugurated what is called as the reactor building, which is the world's largest incubator with about 500,000, which is 5 lakh plus square foot, which can help about 2,000 plus startups under one roof.